Jean-Jacques Rousseau, another philosopher from his great work, The Social Contract, believed that the government should be based on the consent of the governed. Therefore, he proposed a government based on social contract between the people and their representatives. France in the 18th century also witnessed the emergence of the third state. The third state included the three sections of the society: the privileged class, the middle class, and the lower class. The middle class, which constituted within it the educated and the moneyed class of the third state. They formed the most prosperous and educated section of the third state. They consisted of professionals like doctor, lawyers, judges, and teachers. The rich among them were the bankers, the manufacturers, and businessmen. But they enjoyed no political rights or social status. The intellectuals inspired these middle class who brought about vital leadership to help to bring about change in social and economic order. Therefore, they encouraged people to fight for their rights and thus exposed the inefficiency of the government. All this led to change of authority from monarchy rule to the establishment of the republican government. India, in its directive principle of state policies, included all these principles in its 15 principles given to the Federal Institute of the Governing State to be kept in situation while framing laws and policies. They have been declared as the fundamentals in the governance of the country. According to Article 37, it shall be the duty of the state to apply these principles while making laws. The main aim of directive principles of state policy to create economic and social conditions under which citizens can lead a good life. The provision claimed in Article 37 are not to be enforced by court. The state shall strive to promote the welfare of the people by securing social order in justice, social, economic, and political, and shall inform all the institutions and national life. Article 39 states that the state shall direct its policies towards securing all men and women equally to have adequate means of livelihood. Article 39b 38b reveals the ownership and the control of material resources of the community are to be so as distributed as best to serve the common good. The operation of economic system does not result in the concentration of wealth, and there is equal pay for equal work for both men and women, and that the health and the strength of the worker, both men, women, and the tender age children shall not be abused. The children should be given all opportunities to develop in a healthy manner and in a condition of freedom and dignity. Article 39A also ensures that justice shall not be denied to anyone for reason of economic or other disabilities. The establishment of Panchayati Raj according to Article 40 also ensures the authority to Panchayat Raj to enable them to function as a self-government, act as a self-government. Thus, we see from Article 36 to 51 our Constitution empowers directive principles of state policy in its 15 principles to be adopted and are to be kept in situation while framing laws and policies of the country. The directive principles are mainly the welfare notion of the state. The main aim of directive principles of state policy is to create a social and economic condition under which the state can lead a good life. They also aim to establish social and economic democracy through a welfare state. Our Constitution lays down certain directive principles of state policy which, though not justiciable, and it is the duty of the state to apply these principles while making laws. Next, we will discuss about the fundamental rights envisaged in our Constitution and how these rights help the people to promote democracy in India.